Welcome to Creative Vitality Jam Sessions. Here, we have intimate conversations with amazing dance and theater artists about reimagining creativity and supporting and building community. I'm Helen Pickett, and today's guest is Francesca Harper. Fran and I have known each other since 1990, when she joined Frankfurt Ballet. She is the artistic director. Oh, Fran, hey.
Hey.
Hi. Oh, I'm so happy. You're our first guest.
I'm so excited. My sister, my partner in crime.
Yes.
For many years.
Just saying, we've known each other since 1990. And I remember the day you auditioned, and I knew, I was like, this woman is going to be a friend.
I'll tell you, I had the same thing. I was actually writing and preparing to see you today. And I remember seeing you in the studio, watching that fabulous footwork, first of all. But I remember coming over to you and saying, you are my kind of dancer. It was an immediate connection. Wow. I felt.
So where are you in the world?
I am in New York City. I'm on the Upper West Side, right between Riverside Park and Central Park West. And yeah.
Beautiful. So we've established of how we know each other. So you are the artistic creator, you are the artistic director of Francesca Harper Dance Project. You are a presidential scholar. You have been in 4 Broadway plays, including The Color Purple. You were in Lady Day in the lead character, and you were nominated for that role. I mean, Fran, you are a Renaissance woman. You have recreated and reimagined yourself so many times in your life. Can you say some more about what you're doing? Or
yeah, well, I think growing up in New York City, it was obvious to me, and I grew up in the art community, and it was challenging. It was, and in America, it's much more challenging, as we both know, after working in Europe with paid vacations and I mean, healthcare, that pays for your vitamin C pills. So I think for me, I've always known in New York that I had to have an extra fire just to make sure. I mean, part of my, I can think, approach or my reality, or maybe it's always been instilled from my training, is to just constantly create work, keep working, keep creating, and trust yourself. I think because growing up in New York, it was so competitive, it just kind of trained me to always be recreating myself and find work. I am really proud to say that I have only worked since high school. I think I was a telemarketer one summer, but since then I have only worked as an artist, and I honor that as a privilege. I think that's, I mean, I love what I do. So I think, my mother always encouraged me,
And your mother was Denise Jefferson.
Yes. She would always say, if you love what you do, why not put the extra work? And it's always nice to kind of be a little bit ahead of the ball.
Yes. And also, I mean, I forgot to say that you danced with Dance Theater of Harlem as well.
Yeah.
Before you came to Frankfurt Ballet. So, you had another company under your belt before you came to Frankfurt. So can you maybe go into a bit of how a shift from one of your reimaginings, how that could have motivated you or redirected you or refocused your view of creativity?
Absolutely. I remember, I was in The Color Purple, and it was my maybe 3rd show. And I had worked in Frankfurt Ballet, where I was given this luxury of being able to go from point shoes to doing acting work to singing. He really gave us those opportunities.
Yeah.
And so it was hard to come back after no one knew me in the States and reintroduce myself as a performer. So, and it was really wonderful. I got to work with Donald Byrd, who was absolutely brilliant. I'm so happy. But I really wanted to learn more as an actor. I was taking acting lessons, and a friend of mine saw me in a performance and was like, "Oh, Fran, I can see that you've kind of, you're a little resigned to performing. And it just, I know, it put a fire under me. And I thought, my gosh, what am I thinking? This is my chosen profession. This is what I do. It's my passion.
Yeah.
I've got to put 150% or at least 100% into each performance. So I started vocalizing and doing a ballet bar. People in the Broadway theater were always like kind of making fun of me. Did my ballet bar and vocalized before every performance. And then a couple months later, I booked my first principal role on Broadway.
Yeah.
So that for me was like a real testament to really just staying in your work. Never, you know, it doesn't matter if you don't have a job, if you do have a job, you keep your instrument sharp, you stay committed, and that, yeah. So
And
that was really, that was one of a big learning curve for me.
Yes, and I always say, if you need to do it, you will find a way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you just described.
I was talking a little bit about you. I mean, here we are on your first show, and here you are kind of following some intuitive, creative, you know, need and desire. And it's so exciting. It's just thrilling.
Yeah, basically it's choreographing in a different way, isn't it?
Yeah.
And because, you know, who knows how many months. And I have to say, it's also a great opportunity to see my friends. You know what I mean? Really.
I know, right.
And to share all of this, you know, to share the history and insight.
Absolutely. I think there's something really to someone with your, you know, your experience, Helen, you know, just even hearing even that story, or we've been fortunate, you know, to be working, you know, even for people that are out there feeling discouraged right now, to hear these stories, to stay invigorated.
Yeah, and to reimagine, because that's what I call, this is a gestation period. So we do have a chance to dive in. Do you have an insight you can share? I mean, besides all the stuff you've just shared, an insight for the creative vitality community about living a creative life, or something that inspires, that sparks you to get up and you know, and do something in our home, to something that, you know, what's the spark of inspiration for you?
You mean, and particularly in this period?
No,
or
it doesn't have to
overall?
be
Okay. Well, what's interesting, I will connect it to this period, because I will tell you, COVID for me, this quarantine time, I knew the minute it happened that I had an opportunity. And that opportunity really kind of brought me back to something I'd been missing. And I think I really felt when I was dancing with Bill Forsyth and really working with, you know, with collaborators, with brilliant minds, really collaborating with, and I think being in quarantine, I'm not able to be in touch with my collaborators in the same way. So I thought, well, let me go in the other direction. And I started my meditation. It was the first thing I did, was get to my altar and start journaling. It is now, after, it took me a moment to kind of get into a ritual, but it's my ritual now. I go to my altar, I do my chanting, my meditation, I journal, I make that part. I can feel myself having anxiety about getting, you know, I have to write and face whatever's coming out. And then I do my Pilates. I do my Pilates with my dear friend Isadora Wolf, who's phenomenal, from Sleep No More. And I take her Pilates class, and it's so great to be back in my body, because as a mother and as a creator and as a teacher, that's the first thing. I'm getting up and I'm going to take care of other people and facilitate, and to get back to self. And even at this point in life, and realize, even if I'm not going to be performing in the same way, just to have the time to sit and think, and even storyboard for a new piece, or to have the time to think about, okay, let me write some verbiage. I applied for a research grant that I've never done in my life, you know, to have those resources. We'll see what happens. I'm in the finals for a really huge grant right now that could be life-changing. So like sitting down and writing, but really articulating and being really specific and deep, like you said, like to really go deep into why I want to create this work, or why I'm even doing what I do, or even just living. So that's been amazing to kind of get back into clarity and really like detailed articulation of the work.
It's beautiful. Um, I mean, it's so inspiring to hear you speak about this stuff. And yeah, I wake up every day just reminding myself that it what's happening right now is also the future. And thankful for my health, in the walks I get to take. And so you've kind of given us this exercise tip, which I love, and also the
Oh,
meditation tip, which is great. No,
yes.
it's great. It's great. I mean,
No, I feel it. I feel so good. I said that to my husband yesterday. I was like, oh my gosh, my
I
waistline.
think I
Anyway,
have to start doing more Pilates. So let's see. As part of the CBJS
wait, sorry. Just
platform,
shout out to Alan Barnes for Pilates there.
yes,
Sorry.
I hope he's watching.
Me too.
He said he would. As a part of the CBJS platform, I believe in supporting and building community. And what would you like to see shift in terms of building a more equitable community?
Woo. I know. Well, I thought about that a little bit. I think, and actually, I was having a wonderful conversation with Teresa Howard.
Oh,
Yeah, I was, and
great.
yeah, it was
I gotta
really,
call her.
huh?
I gotta get her on here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. She'd be phenomenal.
Yeah.
But we were talking about, and when I was preparing for this question, I I really think to reach out to all those directors out there to really look at the landscape of what they are facilitating, what they are directing. Are your communities equally represented? Do you have enough women? Do you have enough African Americans? Do you have enough Asian? Do you have, we talk about equity, we talk about that.
Yeah.
I really think, for people that are in those positions of power that can create and provide opportunity for others, that's what I would love to see shift. I've had a couple of friends, that I worked very closely with that, I look sometimes and it pains my heart to see that they're just not aware after working so closely with
Yeah.
a woman of color for so many years that I look at these companies and I go, oh my gosh, it's just not even on their radar. And I think that there is a real, I like in my meditation, in my introspective kind of thinking, we just have to go deeper. They have to take the time and we have to be really honest with ourselves. Are we really kind of, looking at a landscape that is providing equal opportunity for others? And really understanding that the gifts that everyone can bring. I feel that's what I am so excited about working with our company with Ballet Frankfurt. We were so different and we were so curious and we celebrated our differences, in a very real way and made space for each other. You realize how rare that is now. I wish everyone would really be aware that the stage or whatever medium they're in is a social platform for change, and that's a really a powerful position to be in.
Yes, and I like to say, I think our performing arts world, or let's say performing arts world, because that's where we are, right? I'd like it to look like the face of America, simply put. And I think that's
Or
a
face
really,
of New York. Sorry.
yeah, the face of New York, the face of New York. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But basically everybody represented, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Fran, this was a beautiful chat. I'm going to ask you to stay here with me while I do a few plugs and then we get to say goodbye again. You are a remarkable woman. You're an inspiration to me. You inspire. There we go. That is my new. I
I'll
think
go get some.
I'm going to
my
put that
mission.
down.
I'll go get some.
It's my Zoom word. Inspirate. That's inhaling and inspiring at the same time. Ooh, okay. So, my lovely community, I'm so thrilled that you tuned in. We are actually twice a week live. We are Wednesdays at 2 and Sunday brunch at 1. Those are both Eastern Standard Times. Our Sunday brunch guest is Hope Muir, the director of Charlotte Ballet, and you have an opportunity to tune in to one of their performances this Saturday at 7:30. Just go to their website, and they will be performing In Cognito. It's a ballet I made for them last year. So that's this Saturday at 7:30. And in the description box below, you will find links to the CVJS social media, upcoming guests, and more info. I want to thank the excellent young Jedi assistant and co-producer, Gracie Spina. Oh yes, let's say hi to Harper. Yes, hello, sweetheart. Hi. You look wonderful. Good to see you here. I want to thank my Creative Vitality Jam Session community. I want to thank the amazing dance community that we are a part of. I'm thankful every day to be a part of this community. Fran, you're a blessing to this world. Art anywhere, anytime. I'll see you Sunday at 1. Stay creative. Thank you so much.